ohene Agyapong nsema ekọ so eye onim abrantia ne din ede Kevin Taylor ono so eye US based journalist yenyina ye nim ensemsema ekokokoko so efa obo
we me say onye US based or US Ghanaian based US and a US based Ghanaian journalist and a King Japan so a Asin Central MP papa Mr. Ubuni Diana or the ice cream kakra to Swamano.
Honorable.
Yes, honorable.
I made a mano. Intino sa in some semia a course so I yin lawsuit a year $9.5 million against Kevin Taylor. Sabria me no kase de kamia say e dane boachi bi edin anesa. Enti nana Osha, debe mbotaye panty and omu yisa in semi free a year law on our court.
Okay, so you need to give the background of the case, but my main man the background because you are doing a sit-in for somebody. So basically, what is happening here is that Kevin Taylor Edin Simbi to draw on a loud silence media and no patch say 1990s no King Japan Eddie ba Ghana on the first specific American US lottery visa.
Okay.
As a US lottery visa or price King Japan. And then it be more echo Kabumu and now yes, I scheme as I scheme fraud scheme.
Fraud.
And I'm making Japan the years King Japan fraud. Secondly, I see in Japan, Oku US and King Japan air traffic cocaine. And no, sa cocaine or trafficking no or trafficking no and I'm making Japan in years. And thirdly, I see King Japan Papa bi wuye e Ghana. A journalist and us, the partner between Ahmed Hussein Swale. According to Kevin Taylor, no, King Japan a boy ni papa, I mean kukun boy because of Anas Tumia or and Sanana case ni kwa against or no King Japan now person to King Japan a boy man for pani kukun. So King Japan said they said, see, I'm loudmouth, make us me name be bad. Asema wo kan to me so dey no credit no Kevin Taylor dey be o kan sama see Jan ho, but this time around we will take him on. Enunti and we saw say Honorable King Japan took up the case and no call your friend is saying Virginia I could sue a year Kevin Taylor. Now one thing you have to know is say the entire King Japan could sue Kevin Taylor or Virginia and was because who sue we need to sue the person say be any pana a defamation say we are kind of some afar who feel say damage reputation and defamation it is who sue will be based on defamation any pan some or can if no can or Kevin Taylor a can or Virginia that's what we know US Kevin Taylor essence so etin e US until we see a DSM no in law of any jurisdiction.
Okay.
So that was why King Japan went all the way to US and he sued a year Kevin Taylor in court. But you see, hot case no air question me the can be say King Japan did a big mistake. What I say, when I am kind say an answer to a fool is what? Silence. So I'm not saying Kevin Taylor is a fool, but Kevin Taylor is playing a game. And King Japan ought to have been smart to know the game that Kevin Taylor was playing. But he went in knowing said defamation cases are difficult to win. Are difficult to win. Are very, very difficult to win. But King Japan went on and King Japan called, you know the funny thing? His case against Kevin Taylor was dismissed. Oh, that case here be na make us is between Chema to me and if you so. Instead make us say Chema to me case no any if you so no. Say if you so a defense near strong or baby. In fact, the first thing if you so will try to fight for is the first dismiss case.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So courts dismiss it say and Sema Kevin Taylor a can against King Japan no an opinion. Or see King Japan any credible businessman. And how do King Japan expect or no Kevin Taylor to think so a credible businessman if King Japan cannot make any person form an opinion about him King Japan King Japan will be for me a positive impression and an image about King Japan. It's not possible. Ose me honye fe me the work of courts. If you start suing people based on their opinion, it's a opinion. And one of the other things are, of course, so before then, we into screen also because we and the better say indeed Kevin Taylor or no can be breaking news say King Japan. You see, our president didn't know case no or say on continue be it no case. You see, no case no discontinue the case. Now, if we enter screen also. So what you are seeing on the screens no sema with all due respect as Kevin Taylor posted on Twitter. Into ocean year in sema what say the documents of Agyapong voluntarily discontinue his defamation suit against Kevin Taylor. In sema Kevin Taylor ne media network, that's Loud Silence Media, and omu posti ye enye and there are two screens. But you see, maybe be chichimu the entire these things are happening, and even what is actually next for or no Agyapong. So as you are seeing, Agyapong, I didn't some no courts no yesterday be Kevin Taylor, what he said was an honor drink and I watch it. And Kevin Taylor Esoka say in some because he be Kevin Taylor what's he Agyapong cocaine. Do you have any evidence or see they be maybe some no be can can be and no tiana yan charge Kevin Taylor your bought case ni good say nipa no say no cre.
Okay.
Why are you suing? If you are suing some now a cause defamation case no. If you are suing say yampa. Or no opinion no or say yampa and I want to me say yampa and then you court to see who is telling the truth and who is telling the lie. But in this case, who sue Kevin Taylor is also a credible businessman. You be say Kevin Taylor said the Waba court. What's the Agyapong pay original or a credible businessman? Do you have evidence? I mean, any evidence? I was just speaking my opinion. Oh, any case, any case. You see, courts are very something because any case, so just trash it. And Muntiana, you trash it. The case, no. What we are seeing is that Agyapong, because verdict about out here dismissing case, no. People don't know. You mark Agyapong 60 days. 60 days, you mark Agyapong. You say, on fan shame, no one say, Ibia errors be woman. Now on call for appeal because Agyapong will say no, even though it's my call for appeal no, the road to winning a high and people don't know. Lawyers for charge per lawyers charge per hour. US lawyer to me charge 1 hour $10,000. So if Agyapong pursue case so it's my kwa or baby you know book 1 million so it is just wise because I'm looking Agyapong so no to meet na TV radio so then I can call for him. Meet my say perhaps ABA and you wanted to ask something. Yeah.
In this situation, or you say people that come out to say things concerning people now, yet target them as defamatory actions. No, couldn't also be classified under opinions. Courts need take some as considerations now or back it of others. Yeah,
usually the it's a very smart question. What the courts will look at in all of these cases, especially like Agyapong, your friend is saying. Case the court will first ask the defendants where they were backwards no say somehow kind who engineer swan clearly we're just forming an opinion and we can't hold people accountable for the opinion. We can only hold people for saying things or maka boni friend malice sa samna nipa ne kan onim say nya no but nipa na sheda e ka ni trim pon na dream pon say or can say and no and if you are saying the thing with the intent or having an actual malice and no hold you on. 2. Asemna nipa ne ka no. Asemna nipa ne ka about you no. Does it have a prima facie? Does it have the intention to damage you? You nipa no can opinion or chenadria. You can't. That is why defamation cases are very hard to win. So obi akoko defamation. Defamation is a civil case between me and between civilians. Civil come from the word civilian, so it's very difficult for a person to win the cases like that. But so who call defamation? Who person will be caught because of defamation? Also having a strong case. Now, Kevin Taylor released documents. Documents are a chair say Agyapong this year and Agyapong say court case a question on pay what discontinue case because. A waste of time. You know, in this case, meeting mark I say, Kevin Taylor has semi-won. Yen can see screen or so. What you are seeing here, United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia. Once a medical say, you sue Kevin Taylor of Virginia. That's what you are seeing on the screen. You see, Alexandra division. When him say. Baby omuko di Johnny Depp ni Amber Heard case no sa honana Agyapong issue Kevin Taylor. Yes, so that's it. So we share the plaintiff here Kennedy or Hine Agyapong and the defendants one way do mark courts a loud silence media and a was screen so into more civil action no has see now offshore the has say now you read the was say notice of voluntary dismissal without prejudice. To the clerk and all parties of record, please take notice that plaintiff Mr. Kennedy Agyapong by and though his undesigned counsel pursuant of rules blah 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 of the federal civil rules of procedure voluntarily dismisses defendants Mr. Kevin Taylor and loud silence media in the action without prejudice. At the time of filing of this notice of voluntary dismissal without prejudice, defendants in this action have not filed otherwise said or answer motion for summary judgment. Plaintiff has not previously dismissed any federal or state court action based or on including the same claim. And also Ekato as say consistent herewith plaintiff consents to the court having his case closed for administrative purposes. In summer a work as I want to say a patch say King Agyapong in 70 by and summer King Agyapong at the bar against Kevin Taylor no now ye patch say Sisia sense some King Agyapong voluntary requirement 60 days said ye dismiss case in King Agyapong 60 days on to me file appeal. CB of Felice case in Ninja King Agyapong file for appeal. And a King Agyapong so in summer court ne can say in summer Kevin Taylor e can say or a cooking than ade no. Who say prejudice ni say na uni adwempo ana wanka with an intention to commit cannot or change opinion. So shall say King Agyapong has not found any motion and will accept to say in some committee like kind he didn't say with any prejudice. It's he actually goes on and he support the dismissal. Our courts might 60 days na pound 60 days na pound no or my dismissal case. Kevin Taylor says something about King Agyapong issue King Agyapong says I'm going to hire the most expensive lawyers. And I Kevin Taylor can't then. Kevin Taylor says I'm going to hire the smartest lawyer. Two things. So clearly Kevin Taylor has 1 year. And another one what has said near order. Yeah, there are two screens also. Kennedy plaintiff, loud silence media defendants or say order. This means comes before the court of the plaintiff notice on voluntary person blah 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 blah. Order the civil action is dismissed without prejudice to all the defendants. It is ordered. See our courts. Our order say yeah dismiss the case no. And one last thing and also a buyer and also a two screen also concerning this particular case no. The certificates here in Osha lawyers or Omudi Assembly if anything I think say Stephen Anderson SQ or a lawyer US and a Christian Kwabena answer or also a lawyer and a certificate of service and and case no yeah dismiss it King Agyapong case against Kevin Taylor, which means in a way Kevin Taylor has won. Do you have any questions?
This one is very crucial. Inti na abranti ani din edi Kevin Taylor no na say wafa ne ho edi after say wakeka san nsem nyina ana say daachi bi obetimi enya ho nsem foforo.
On fan who dear, but you see, somebody can if you see, let me advise people who are watching me or who are watching us. If you want to sue somebody, what I say, Miss Lesson in Pennyfocus, Udi may be sir. Miss Sopesu sue be a Miss Sewa with all due respect. Please get a lawyer and ask the person, say, so and so and so and so. You think it's right for me to sue the person?
Okay. Be
honest before I end it. Be honest because lawyers for no they are there to defend any stupid thing.
Okay.
Any stupid. Also, see I say 1 billion. Who person sue who follow? Ubenya lawyers will do it. Yes, we'll sue him. Do sika. But if you let them know, say you want to be honest, you are just seeking the opinion. Should you continue? They'll be honest with you. What I say. This tells you say you can't just get up and you see you got on a certain internet acts and rule of freedom of speech doesn't really go on in court like a butcher sa Oliver Baka money at the job Captain Smile yakwa cheno ye jano sa obi or say a cry FM presenter yo Akufo Addo yire akoto asase akwa chinya kasa ne manyina isiaka rather they sue Akufo Addo so for taking kind of pushing for the arrest of him. Obi so akofa asase state land into it doesn't make sense. They will sue the administrator lead his arrest of a year Bubi Ansa any other no what I say so clearly we need to know beginning 75 and I said it was very difficult for Agyapong to win and here we are but Agyapong if you are listening to me it's not all the time also team crop for near piano you be sue Agyapong doesn't have time to sue but near piano people want him to do it not in because masses not money masses need to be Agyapong is taking Kevin Taylor on but if you are appeasing your masses you need to appease your masses with things that are yet relevant with only cases you win maybe you be recently I had a case I was driving and I think I had some scratch with a person and I think it was the fault of the person because me trip and me move be quiet and nipa ni be saying it made me turn and make no be this speed or be shame me car ni na me man instant brake no and nipa no a tree nipa ni tree mu pe na a tree ni to nipa ni say hey me na my and everybody had a point nipa no point more point but you see in a park here from a highway it's there were 3 people almost if you can they were like 3 or 4 and I said no at that middle of the highway it is risky
yes
because you don't know them so I kept quiet and I said okay no problem you say it's my fault no problem and I was taking them to the police station smart yeah kwani you say police guy be I branched I kept quiet even police na park police na me see and man no yede India you need to know when you need to know when to talk when to keep quiet that's why if you read Ecclesiastes the Bible says there's time for everything there's a time for talk there's a time for silence there's a time for war there's a time for peace there's a time for scatter there's a time for gather it goes on and on there's a time for love there's a time for hate I don't know if you remember that quotation
yes
so there's a time for everything Agyapong should know there's a time for everything
okay
and you be an sorry aye if you understand this thing you know when to fight when to give in when to call it a defeat and when to stop a fight and when to keep quiet you see how the president you shouldn't be losing battles like this if you are taking or suing somebody it should be a by-election
yes
and not a buster or grassroots no any base no to see Anna Mahama or say election it was a fraud a rejuvenizing NDC for next month or 2 about you'll be forced to go because they want the things about your view to show support okay first one movie but wait you bet 2 about them say you bet 2 ama really hands down
okay
not people from break 8 no
nice.
They're using the whole thing to your advantage so Agyapong should once again all boils down to the PR the public relations and the strategy of Agyapong. I think Agyapong's PR is very poor very poor but so the president there are certain things that was and what's our kasapo now Agyapong should have Agyapong open so the president Juma who but now also a vibrant verified Twitter Facebook pages any Instagram pages bibia document oni sa na mani bi or Ukraine very effective 2 Bibi Koso about Agyapong you don't have to talk I was so release what official statement you need to have an official PR or be kasa on your behalf then times now call Oman FM Adom FM Ash FM could defend the MPP it didn't cooperate them a trip if you want to be president you need to act for the presidential if you continue saying it's okay there may a galvanizing me base no mama for say many you lose the election you need to change to meet the demands of people what I say you need to change but also you too presidential I was say a part of you I want a man for who's all real and yes I'll cause completely because I can't present but I was say BBI a plan and premeditated
okay
but if you just go on suing people blah 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 you lose
okay